Hey everyone, this is Phil, and today I want to do a little video comparing two great cameras that I own. The first one is the Bessa RF. This camera is from 1937. It's a medium format camera, it shoots 6x9. It's incredibly compact once you fold it up, and then if you open it up, it has a bellows to focus. So it's super easy to focus and shoots great pictures. The second one is this monster. It's a Fuji 6x9 professional, the GW690III. It shoots the same format, 6x9. It's significantly larger. The lens is fixed. It cannot be folded up or made any more compact than this. Both of these are completely manual, so you set the shutter speed, the aperture, everything by yourself. It's completely manual focus. So these are very similar in construction, but obviously from a very different time period. And I know that both of them produce great results, but today I want to shoot both of them and see just how different they will turn out. So join me on my little photo walk through Tokyo today. It's going to be very hot. It's going to be most likely crowded because I'm heading to a crowded area, and hopefully there should be interesting things to see. So the first location I shot was this tunnel right off the platform when I arrived in Shibuya Station. I like the white and red and green tones here. All of these are scanned off of prints. I usually scan off the prints because it's much cheaper than having them scanned professionally. The next location, a lot of you might recognize this. It's the famous Shibuya Crossing where tons of people just walk through every day. And it's a big tourist draw. I know there's these statues of playing children right off to the side. Those make for a great isolated subject that I enjoy shooting, so I'm heading for those first. I like these little graffitis and stickers stuck on this corner here. This is the thing that you see quite often in Shibuya. So general vandalism or street art is not really a thing in Japan, but in little corners like this you tend to see it, especially in these younger skewing areas. This is red and yellow snow cone truck. This is great because they're just awesome colors to shoot. This guy with the kid on his shoulders came over afterwards and said hi, which is always nice because then you know it didn't bother him too much to have his picture taken. So this building is, if you've seen it, where the Akira art wall was. Unfortunately they've swapped it out to pretty generic construction site walls now, so that's kind of a shame, but the building is almost finished. See, they tore down the old iconic Parco building and built a new, more modern one in its place. Looks pretty good actually. Sit down here, gonna see if I can get some good shots with the yellow billboards from Tower Records in there. So let's see how that goes.
And now we're heading down towards Shibuya Crossing, the famous touristy spot. Gonna see if I can get some nice prize shots there. And we'll see how it goes. Tokyo taxis are really popular subject for street photographers, and there's orange and I especially like the teal ones as well. Colors are just great, and there's this underpass is also really photogenic, so I just couldn't resist taking those. Right, I'm gonna reload my film now. I'm gonna put in some Lomo 400 that I just purchased. One thing that I've noticed is that the Kodak spools are ever so slightly more narrow than the Lomo ones. So when I get rid of that Kodak spool, put in a Fuji spool that I bought. And then we should be set. I really like how easy the Bessa is to load. There's nothing automated in here, so everything's manual. You get to advance the film as much or as little as you like, and yeah, there's no chance of messing it up. Just as I got done reloading the GW, I noticed these three crossing the intersection at the last possible second, and they were sprinting across while cars were already coming into the intersection, and they actually stopped and asked me if I could send them the picture, so I hope it became a good memento of their trip. It looked like they were enjoying themselves, so I hope that stayed the same. This girl too, once I got out the Bessa and started adjusting focus and took my time with it, she actually noticed that I was fiddling with my camera looking at her, and she started laughing, so that's why she's smiling in the second one. So I actually like that a lot, even though I ended up missing focus on this one. Some more candid shots of people in the intersection. You can see a little bit that the GW definitely has a little more contrast than the Bessa does, which, well, the lens of the Bessa wasn't really designed for color in the first place, so I can't really hold it against it. It still renders really nicely, and I'm very happy with the pictures I got. Okay, it is now 5 p.m. I'm in Sendagi for the second time today because this is where our local lab is. Thankfully we have a lab right here that's able to process medium format film same day. That's unfortunately quite rare today. Normally they take 2 to 5 days to process our stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these pictures turn out. Mission accomplished.
That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun making it. Obviously this is not a scientific test or comparison of these two. I was actually surprised at how little difference there was between these two cameras, given that they're almost 40 years apart based on the date of manufacture. And I was very happy with the pictures that I got out of both of these cameras. Obviously either of these have their pros and cons to them. The Bessa, as I said, is very compact once folded up. It's very quiet, it's very easy to focus. It also enables you to do double exposures, to do some creative things just by the lack of automation. So it has no fail-safes, no ways, no automatic film advance, nothing. So you have to do everything yourself and get it right yourself. But I feel there's freedom in that, and I enjoy having complete control over my images. On the other hand, it has slightly less contrast. It does require focusing through a different window. So you can see there's two windows in here. This is for focusing, this is for composing. So you have to look through this window, adjust your focus, and then look through that window and frame your shot. So obviously it's much slower to shoot with this thing, unless you just want to wing it and just look through the focusing window the entire time. So other than that, I have no complaints about this camera. It's been very pleasant to use. I like the photos that come out of it, and this is the camera that I use most of the time when I'm shooting medium format. On the other hand, the Fuji GW690 Mark III has a better lens, so obviously it's sharper, it has more contrast, it has extremely great depth of field. One step down, it goes down to f32, which I've never seen on any other camera. So it's, what I've heard is that it was originally intended for landscape photographers, which makes a lot of sense, since it does far better on a tripod, and has that extreme aperture stop down. It has a slightly louder shutter than the Bessa has. It has a very nice rangefinder, so I don't really find a huge difference in the rangefinder patch. This one overlays, while the Bessa has a split prism, so you actually have to focus by aligning the top and bottom of the image. This camera has a lever advance, which a lot of obviously modern cameras do, and obviously it doesn't allow you to double expose or anything. Apart from that, it's very nice, but the most prohibitive thing about this camera is its size. It's just enormous, and people are going to notice it right away. It also looks very contemporary, so people will probably mistake this for a digital camera much more than this one. With the Bessa, I've found that people actually enjoy having their picture taken with it. They actually ask, what kind of camera is that? I've never seen this before. So a lot of times it's actually more of a conversation starter. It puts people at ease more than something like this. The GW is actually not as heavy as it looks, so it's not as unwieldy as you would think from the size, but it does have the size, and it does have the shutter sound, and for that reason it's not really very well suited to street shooting, which most of the time I don't shoot people up close anyway, so that's just fine with me. It's a great camera if you're shooting landscapes or if you're shooting architecture. I think it's actually amazing for architecture. Of course it doesn't have any tilt shift, but apart from that, it's great. I enjoy both of these cameras a lot. I hope you enjoyed seeing the results with them. It's been great having you here. I hope you'll stop by again. I can't guarantee when I'll do my next video. It's very rare that I have the time to do this. It did take a long time to edit and shoot this, so hats off to everyone who's doing this on a weekly basis. It really does take a lot of effort. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope to see you again. If there's anything you would like to see out of my channel, drop me a comment, subscribe so you don't miss my next video in about a year's time probably, and hope to see you again.